Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Kelsey. I'm Kelsey OB here on YouTube and on Instagram, and we are going to do another forearm workout because I'm always on my hands. Maybe you're on your hands. The wrists just are not super strong and they are more prone to injury than what we would like. So sometimes you gotta give them a break, have a little relax, and get down on the forearms rather than on the hands. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have 10 exercises. We're gonna do 1 minute per exercise with a very small rest in between. That way we can really just hammer this out and move on with our day. So hopefully you are good and warmed up. We're gonna come onto our forearms like we have always done in the past. Make sure that your arms are shoulders width. If you're not sure how far shoulders width is, just reach over, grab opposite elbow, and then you know you have the right distance, and then palms down flat. If you have very tight shoulders, you may have to interlace your hands or press your hands together, and that's okay, but you may like to have your hands flat. That way you can kind of use them for gripping if that's something that you need, like you feel like you're going a little too far forward. All right, so my 1 minute timer is set. The first one that we're going to do is forearm cartwheels, or just little forearm jumps from one side of the mat to the next. So go ahead, get your arms ready to go. It's all right, you gotta check them every single time. It will get easier as you go. 1 minute is set, let's do it. So I'm gonna just cartwheel my legs kind of over my yoga mat. As you jump the hips high, you want to kind of kick the legs from one side to the other. This is a great skill to have if you are looking to get your forearm stand, your Pinchamayurasana, because it's a nice way to fall out. I always like to kind of cartwheel to my left, so it's this way. Every time I fall, that's kind of where I go. If your cartwheels are teeny tiny, like this, that's okay. We're still building strength through the shoulders and the upper back. 15 more seconds. Hang in there. Keep pressing out of the shoulders, that rounding through the upper back. And there's the timer. Whew. So that's something that you'll hear me say again and again and again whenever we are on our forearms. What I want you to think about doing is this rounding through the upper back. Don't let your chest hang in and dump, that kind of depression between the shoulder blades. You want protraction and rounding, so keep pushing. All right, the next one that we're going to do is a forearm wild thing. So if you're familiar with wild thing in yoga, this will be familiar for you. We're just gonna move from side to side, a little bit easier than the last one. Let's get that minute set and just go from side to side. So right arm, kick that leg over, wild thing, and switch. Left side, kind of a little back bend, opening the heart. Left arm comes up and over, reach the heart high towards the ceiling, squeeze the glutes as you lengthen the spine. This one working more of those lats, those muscles that you feel wrapping underneath the shoulder blade. Also opening up the chest, opening up the pecs, the fronts of the shoulders, the hip flexors. You don't have to reach up and over. You could just keep your hand by your ear. Always modifications. Almost there. And there's the timer. I really gotta get one of those timers on the wall for y'all, or like some cool editing software so I can have it on the screen. It is a goal. I'm gonna get there. Until then, listen for my little trusty timer. All right, next one. You know how much I love those hip dips. So getting in those forearms, dropping the hips from side to side. We're gonna go right side, left side, 10 mountain climbers, and at it again. So calm your breath, because here we go again. Timer is set. Right hip, left hip, 10 mountain climbers. And again. Keep that protraction, belly button pulling in towards the spine. And if you want to mix it up, left side first, it don't matter. Push, 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 Not only out of the shoulders, but kind of what feels like out of the elbow. And then squeezing the elbows in towards each other as if there's an imaginary block between them. Rolling right over the balls of the toes. 15 more seconds. There we go. Come onto the shins, sit down. Calm your breath. Calm your mind. Get that focused again. And what we are doing next is a little step in. So we're going to start in that forearm plank, feet all the way back. And we're just going to walk them in so that they're very close to the body and we're on the tips or the tops of the toes. So here's your forearm plank. Step it in, tops the toes, step it back. And let's just go from side to side. So right side first, then the left. Keep that balance. It's harder when you're talking the whole time, but we can do hard things. All right, I got my timer set. Come into position. Let's do the dang thing. And let's go. So start that forearm plank, step it in, hold it, step it back. Other side. Really getting a nice big push through that upper back. Let the neck stay nice and long. We're not trying to crank it up and look in front of us. As you walk the feet in, really think about compression as you squeeze the tops of the thighs towards that low belly. This looks like it should be super easy. And maybe it's because we're getting almost halfway, but man, it's tougher than it looks. Now, if it's too hard for the tops of the toes, you can keep the toes tucked. That's all right. Hang in there. We are almost done. But keep going till that timer goes off. We stop when we're done. And we're done. Very good. Nice work. I know that one was really tough, but so are you. All right, so the next one, we are going to do a side plank for the whole minute. So it'll be a whole minute on the right, a whole minute on the left. Sorry, these leggings like to roll in on me. And then we are just gonna take the leg up and then in. So I'll demonstrate real quick. If you're on your right side, which I am right now, turn that right forearm in at an angle, about 45 degrees. Makes it a lot easier for balance. Left hand on the hip, left leg up and in, up and in. All right? If it's too hard, you could drop that right knee. Still challenging the balance. All right, let's get it done. Minute is set. Right side first. Arm at an angle. Here we go. Up and in. If you wanted to challenge yourself, I suppose you could keep that arm lifted. I seem to work better with the hand on the hip. Keep pushing out of that elbow. Keep pushing out of that shoulder. Halfway. I am a bit of a talker, so you know if I get quiet, it's because I'm working. So I am right there with you. Last 10. Woo! Drop that hip down and relax. That was tough. But there's nothing like that unilateral strength, so really working the right side separate from the left side to really find some strength in your postures through your shoulders. I love to work one side at a time whenever possible. I find I get really strong that way. All right, let's get into that left side. Left forearm, make sure you get it at an angle. If you're way out here, over here, it's a little bit more hard to balance. I like about 45 degrees. I'm delaying. All right, let's do it. Push, lift up, and go. And remember, we want to do the whole minute because we're challenging ourselves. But if you get through 30 seconds and you're like, oh my God, Kelsey, I'm done, take a small rest. Do what you have to do, get your breath, and then come back to it. That's not failing, that's not quitting, that's working where you are, trying your very best. That's all right. Halfway, more than halfway. Last 10. Ooh, my left side is not as strong. Oh my goodness. Definitely feeling it through those hips and through those glutes. Very good, you guys. That one was so tough. All right, so the next one we're gonna go back to some of that cardio. We are jumping in with some tuck jumps. So with a tuck jump, we're gonna think about jumping and compressing our thighs and our knees in towards our belly and chest. Super important that you keep pushing out the shoulders the whole time. You don't have to hold it at the top of your tuck. Just keep moving. We're working on building that strength and that endurance. All right, we got a minute. Let's get going. Timer is set and go. So a little dolphin, hop up to tuck. So dolphin, if you don't know, is the same as downward facing dog, but it's on the forearms. Once I hit that tuck, I'm gonna compress and pull it in. But if all you can do is just get those feet to leave the mat, that is awesome. That is okay. And it's a great start to your forearm journey. About 15 more seconds. Keep breathing. Whoa, tough. Sit back, calm yourself. Breathing in and out of the nose. Drop your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Willingly slowing your breath, slowing your heart rate, slowing all those chaotic thoughts. We got 3 more. You can do this. All right, so the next one is funky forearm plank. So usually I do this in funky pincha, but we're gonna do it in a plank position. So all we're gonna do, have one forearm down and the other one kind of in a push-up position. Then we're gonna walk it back to forearm and the other one to that funky. So what happens is you take the hand that's going into funky and you put it where the elbow was. And you're looking for that 90-degree bend through the elbow. But we're going to be in plank when we do it, all right? So let's just go ahead and get it started. If it's too hard, you could do it in dolphin instead. Just do your best. All right, here we go. Timer is going. We're just gonna go from side to side, staying nice and low. Oh goodness, the timer wasn't going. Oh my gosh. Talk about uphill when you get a couple extra seconds that you weren't planning on. But we can do it. This one's not as brutal as some of the other ones, so I think you can do this. When life gives us challenges, we gotta meet them head on. So things like forgetting to set the timer, or when you thought you set the timer and it didn't go, that stuff happens. That is life. And that is why we make time for our practice, whether it's yoga, or running, or swimming, or HIIT. We want to be able to deal with things that come up that challenge us with a calmness, with a focus, with dignity. So we practice it on our mat, so we're good at it in real life. And there's our extra long timer. Ooh, you hate when there's a hair tickling you. You girls with hair, long hair, you get me. Or you guys with long hair. All right, so we've got one more, and it might be our hardest, because it's really gonna work those hips just like those side planks did. We're gonna do a minute on each side, and I know it's hard, so if you have to take a second, gather yourself and come back. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? So we're gonna be in dolphin pose. And again, I want you to turn your forearm in at an angle, because if you have your arms straight and parallel like we usually do, you're not gonna have good balance. So turn it in at this 45-degree angle, and maybe even your right foot as well. Then we're going to grab a hold of the left big toe, and we're just gonna lift it straight up, lower it down. Straight up, down. So if you have to take a minute and kind of ground yourself, get balanced as the foot comes down, do what you gotta do. All right, here we go. 1 minute is actually going this time. So we're gonna grab that toe, take it up, and back down. So really challenging the balance, the focus. If you try to move too fast, you'll likely fall. So just let this be slow. We don't have to rush things always to make there be strength. Sometimes moving slow is actually harder. $15 more seconds, hang in there. I know that right glute is feeling all kinds of stuff. Let that be okay. Whew, since that was all the right side, you know, we still got the left to go. Darn, that hair is still not being found. So let's go ahead and get ready for the left. And then that will be it. And if you are working in your forearm stand, your Panchamayurasana, after a workout like this, when those shoulders are on fire, the core is really ready to go, it's a great time to work on your practice. I know you're thinking, Kelsey, I'm really tired. I don't want to fall and get hurt. And there's a fine line. You don't want to be too tired, but you definitely want to be engaged and activated. So give it a try. Maybe use the wall. I know you can do it. You can do hard things. All right, so remember, get that arm in a little bit of an angle. The 1 minute is going right now. So grab that big toe, lift it up. If you're falling all over the place, this is really challenging. Just try. I promise, even the trying and the failing is so good for that body awareness and for building strength. I know you're thinking, oh yeah, falling again and again. So good for me. It is. That is where we all begin. I fell and still fall all the time, halfway. And I have to be okay with that, because that is life. Those challenges, they come up. Ooh. And how do we want to meet them? Last 15. Last 5. We got 2 more, right? Ooh. I did not know my butt would be feeling that so much. So like I was saying, guys, maybe give your forearm stand a try if that's something you're wanting to work on. You can interlace your hands or keep the palms down flat. Totally up to you. Get them down, get strong. Walk your feet into that dolphin pose. Lift your less dominant leg up really high. Tiny little kick. Maybe find that balance, or maybe you just kick up 5 or 10 times, working on it. It'll come, if that's your jam. If not, that is it for today, guys. You really did so good. Again, my name is Kelsey. I'll be here on YouTube and on Instagram, so go ahead and find me over on Instagram. Tag me if you're working on any of this stuff. I would love to see what you're doing and cheer for you. Make sure that you drink your water. We don't want to get dehydrated. Please make sure you pass on this love. Cheer somebody else on. Even if it's just a stranger at the grocery store, it really helps when we build other people up. Make sure that you give this video a like so you can find it again and again. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm posting every week. You guys have an amazing day. Please take care. Namaste.